Well, Warren, firstly, welcome back. How's it feel to be back coaching Wales?
Yeah, definitely wasn't something I expected anyway, so it's exciting to be back and really looking forward to the Six Nations. It's a great tournament and it's kind of it's what international rugby is about, playing and being involved in the Six Nations.
For you, what makes it so special?
Oh, I think that it's not so much the rugby. I think what makes the Six Nations so special is the fans. You know, it's when you get 30, sometimes 40% of the fans being away supporters, that's what creates an unbelievable atmosphere. And it's more than a game; it's an event. And there's bragging rights and things, and which is it's in the history of the Six Nations. So yeah, really looking forward to being back.
And you yourself, how does it feel going into this one compared to one 15 years ago in 2008?
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be different. Having been away for 3 years, and then I can promise you I never expect to be back at Wales. But it's just something to really look forward to. Pleased with the probably the regions in Wales haven't been going brilliant, but the last few weeks have started to have some good performances together. So yeah, that's really encouraging. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, good to see the Ospreys doing better in Europe. But as far as your squad, 37, 4 new debutants in there as well. Some old guys like Ken, Owens, Jones. So do you feel you've got the blend right?
Well, I think that's been the challenge. It's kind of looking at short term at the Six Nations and then the World Cup, and making sure that we had some of that experience in, and then we've got to give some of those youngsters an opportunity to get some game time, some time on the field, and some international experience. Ireland would be probably the best example of that, sort of going through probably sometimes a year or two out from the World Cup, have been going really well, and then they get to a World Cup and then they've picked up injuries from experienced players, and you're probably falling a little bit short of the expectations. So I'm kind of looking at that example a little bit, making sure that we've got some experience there, but we also need to make sure we develop some of those youngsters and give them some more game time.
You mentioned Ireland there. They are number 1 in the world, first up in Wales. It's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and they've been brilliant, and obviously Andy Farrell's done a great job with them, and they seem to have got everything right in Ireland in terms of the provinces and the way things have gone, and central contracts, getting great crowds, and playing some fantastic rugby. From a provincial perspective, especially Leinster, and the amount of the way that they've dominated that Irish team in terms of selection, and to be number 1 in the world, it's a great achievement, and they deserve to be that. And so it's going to be a real challenge for us. But I suppose getting a team who's number 1 in the world first up, you might get them. We'll be both in the same boat, probably a little bit underdone in terms of the preparation and that. But so I can tell you, Cardiff will be pumping that day in terms of the atmosphere, and that'll be it should be a great occasion.
Last 2 from me. The guy next to us there, Ken. What qualities has he got? You named him captain.
Oh, I just think his experience, the way he gets on with the players. You're looking for someone who's been playing well, and he's come back from injury, been out for a long time. But I thought he was outstanding in the autumn, and if we're picking a team at the moment, he's probably going to be one of the first names on the list, even though he's getting a little bit older. And I just thought we've got some really good youngsters coming through, but potentially, post World Cup we'll look at bringing some more young players through. But I just think he'll do a great job in terms of the respect he has from the whole group and the coaching staff.
Finally, from me, you've won this competition 3 times before. How do you get the balance of trying to win this competition, and also, you touched on earlier, getting your team prepared for this World Cup down the line? Yeah,
that is a challenge. It's kind of like the thing about the Six Nations. I think the autumn gives you a little bit of an opportunity to experiment a bit, because there's no points at stake. But when you come to the Six Nations, it's about points. It's about a competition and doing as well as you can, and that kind of simulates a little bit of what happens in the World Cup, and getting yourself right and getting yourself prepared. And the exciting thing about a World Cup is that it probably feels like the first time that you're back being a club coach, because you get that preparation time and you get the squad together for a number of weeks. You get the warm-up games as well. So you kind of feel that you can do a lot more detail, sort of preparing for a World Cup, which is exciting in its own right. But the Six Nations is important. You want to do well in the Six Nations and build confidence from that.
And all the best, Warren, going forward.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.